Hello everyone, this is Ma Huishan from MD Level 7. Thank you for being here. And today I will be presenting my research proposal titled The Impact of Dance Therapeutic Modalities on Happiness in Sedentary Adults. This research explores how movement, especially dance therapy, may help people who live largely inactive lifestyles feel better emotionally, and my focus is not on dancers or athletes, but on everyday adults who don't move much and may be feeling stressed, disconnected, or low in happiness. Let me give you a quick snapshot of what this whole project is about. In recent years, we have seen a steady rise in how much time adults spend sitting down at work, at home, even during leisure time. This sedentary lifestyle doesn't just affect our physical health. It can really take a role on our emotional well-being too. People report feeling more anxious, less connected to themselves, and generally less happy. So I will ask myself, could dance, a natural, expressive form of movement, can help improve happiness in adults who lead sedentary lives? To explore this, I designed a small-scale mixed method research project. That means I combined quantitative data like surveys that measure happiness and well-being with qualitative insight from participants' personal reflections. I want to capture both the measurable change and the more personal emotional shift that dance might bring. The study specifically looks at different types of dance therapeutic modalities, which basically means structured dance practice that focus on emotional expressions and mind-body connection, not just fitness or performance. These sections are designed to help people move with awareness, connect with their inner world, and experience joy through the body. The goal is to find out, can these dance sessions actually make people feel happier? And if so, how and why does the change happen? This research aims to offer a new perspective on how we think about both happiness and movement. Rather than seeing dance as something only for performers, this study frames it as a potential tool for emotional wellness, something accessible to everyday people who might never have seen themselves as dancers. If the results show positive change, this could open doors for more inclusive, creative, and body-centered approach to mental health, especially for people who might not respond well to traditional methods like talk therapy or medication. Let's take a moment to reflect on something many of us can relate to: sitting. We sit at work, we sit during commute, we sit to relax. Whether it's at our desk or in front of the TV or scrolling through our phones. In fact, modern life is designed in a way that encourages us to be sedentary, often without us even realizing it. But while sitting feels normal, studies have shown that prolonged inactivities is linked not only to physical health problems like obesity or heart disease, but also to emotional challenges such as depression, stress, and a general decline in happiness. This is especially concerning for adults, in their 20s to 50s, the very age group that is often judging career pressures, financial stress, and caregiving roles. These adults might not have time or energy for regular physical activities, and over time, that lack of movement can lead to disconnection, not just from their bodies, but from their own emotions. This is why my motivation for the studies comes in. What if there were a way to help people feel better emotionally, not through medicine or long talk therapy sections, but through creative movement, something that doesn't require pariahs experienced expensive equipment or intense fitness levels, something as simple and joyful as dance. That brings us to dance therapy, a form of movement that is designed not for performance, but for expressions and healing. In dance therapy, the focus isn't on steps or routines. It's on how your body feels, how emotions move through you, and how you can reconnect it with yourself and others through motion. There's growing evidence that embodies practice, which simply means therapies that involve the body, can help people regulate emotions, reduce anxieties, and even increase self-awareness. Dance therapy has been used in mental health clinics, elder care homes, and trauma recovery space, but despite these benefits, it's rarely explored in the context of everyday adults who are sedentary but otherwise well. My motivation is to bring this practice out of clinical setting and into everyday life, to ask whether dance can serve not just as art or exercise, but as a mental wellness tool for a group of people who might not even realize how much they need it. So the heart of this research is really about this question. Can movement help us feel more alive again? And if the answer is yes, how can we make that accessible to more people, especially those who think, I'm not a dancer or I haven't moved like that in years? This is why I believe these studies matters, not only from a scientific perspective, but from a deeply human one. Let's take a look at what past research says. Dance therapy combines movement with psychological support. It allows people to express emotion non-verbally, build body awareness, and process stress through the body. Conducted meta-analysis and found that dance movement therapy reduces depressions and anxieties across a range of populations. Corriga Mosia found that dancing leads to the release of happy chemicals like dopamine and oxytocin, chemicals that promote bonding, joy, and relaxations. Dance also helps people enter a state called flow, where they feel fully present, engaged, and connected, both to themselves and to others. Now let's talk about how the study will be done. It is a mixed method study. That means I will use both quantitative data and qualitative data, interviews and descriptions to understand what is happening. I will work with 40 adults aged 25 to 55 who get less than an hour for physical activities per week. They will be randomly divided into two groups. The experimental group will attend a 10-week dance therapy program. The control group won't do anything new. Before and after the program, I will use the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire to measure any changes in happiness. Ethics is very important when working with people in health-related research. Here is how I will protect participants. Firstly, everyone will get informed consent before participating. Secondly, they will be reminded that they can leave the study at any time with no consequence. Thirdly, all data will be anonymous and confidential. Fourth, the study will be reviewed and approved by my university ethics board. There is a minimal physical or emotional risk. The movements are gentle and adaptable for all bodies. My main research question is, what is the impact of dance therapy on the happiness of sedentary adults? And here are the sub-questions. Do participants feel happier after taking part in dance therapy? How do they describe their emotional and physical experience during the sessions? What elements of the program, like music, movement, or group interactions, make the biggest differences? These questions will help me to understand both the effect and the process of dance therapy. Let's look at the structure of the dance program. Participants are 40 sedentary adults. Program duration will be 10 weeks. Sections twice a week, 60 minutes each, led by a certified dance therapist. Each section includes a warm-up to gently ease into movement, expressive and guided movement, improvised dancing where participants move freely to music. Short reflections at the end of each section to share or process their experience. The idea is to create a space where participants feel free, supported, and safe to explore movement. I will collect two types of data. One is quantitative data from the Oxford Happiness Questionnaire filled out before and after the 10 weeks. Qualitative data through semi-structured interview with 10 participants from the dance therapy group. The goal is to get both measurable outcomes and personal insight. For analyze, the happiness score will be compared using paired simple t-tests. Interview responses will be examined using semantic analysis to look for common patterns, emotions, reflections, and experience. Based on the research, I expected the following. The dance therapy group will show a significant increase in happiness score. For interviews, I expect people to report more emotional expression, less stress, a stronger connection to their bodies, and an overall improvement in self-image and confidence. This could suggest that even a relatively short program, just 10 weeks, can have a positive emotional impact on people who are previously inactive. Here is my project timeline. This gives a clear, structured window to complete everything in a meaningful but manageable way. This format will create and comprehensive and well-organized study. Outline of draft chapters. And here are a few key sources that support my research. These sources formed from the academic foundation of the study. To conclude, this research is about more than just dance. It's about offering a new, creative, and deeply human way to support emotional well-being, especially for people who have been disconnected from their bodies and from joy. Dance therapy is affordable, accessible, and most importantly, joyful. I invited people to move, to feel, to express, to heal, not through words, but through the wisdom of the body. If these studies confirm what past research suggests, we will have a strong evidence to bring dance therapy into community centers, wellness programs, and even preventive care. This research aims to offer a new perspective on how we think about both happiness and movement, rather than seeing dance as something only for performers. These studies framed it as a potential tool for emotional wellness, something accessible to everyday people who might never have seen themselves as dancers. If the results show positive change, this could open doors for more inclusive, creative, and body-centered approach to mental health, especially for people who might not respond well to traditional methods like talk therapy or medication. To conclude, this research is about more than just dance. It is about offering a new, creative, and deeply human way to support emotional well-being, especially for people who have been disconnected from their bodies and from joy for a long time. Dance therapy is affordable, accessible, and most importantly, joyful. It invited people to move, to feel, to express, and to heal, not through words, but through the wisdom of the body. If this study confirms what past researchers suggest, we will have a strong evidence to bring dance therapy into community centers, wellness programs, and even preventive care. And thank you so much for your attention. I'm excited to hear your feedback and answer if there's any questions. And that's all for my presentation.